My dear friends, very good afternoon. I am Senator Suleiman Abdurrahman Kau Sumaila, OFR, PhD, representing Kano South Senatorial District from Kano, spokesman of Northern Senators Forum. I am here this afternoon to address you on some issues, some topical issues to do with representation on behalf of our caucus of Northern Senators Forum. Can I continue? It is irrespective of the going or what is going on with our neighbors, Niger Republic. The title is Northern Senators Forum. As a forum, we condemn, the Northern Senators Forum, or caucus, on test Senate, under the leadership of Abdul Ahmed Ningi, not with the concern and condemn in its entirety the unfortunate development in Niger Republic, where the military possibly upstaged a democratically elected government of President Muhammad Bazoum. The Northern Senators also take cognizance of the effort of ECOWAS leaders under the able chairmanship of our dear President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in resolving the situation in Niger Republic. The emphasis, however, should be focused on political and diplomatic means to restore democratic governance in Niger Republic. We also take exception to use up the military force until all other avenues as mentioned above are exhausted. As a consequence will be casualty among innocent citizens who go about their daily businesses. Besides, about 7 northern states share border with Niger, namely Kebbi State, Sokoto State, Zamfara State, Katsina State, Jigawa State, Yobe, and Borno State, respectively. We are also aware of the situation of Mali, Burkina Faso, and Libya, which may affect the 7 northern states, because all these 3 states share border with the Niger Republic. If military force is used, there is serious implication for our country. If military force is used without using all the democratic or diplomatic channel in resolving the cognia. As a Democrat and representative of the people, we are here by urging our colleagues, more especially from the other region, to observe due diligence in invoking Section 5, subsection 4A and B, which gave the National Assembly power to approve the request, or more particular, Senate power to approve the request of Mr. President when we intend to participate or to join any foreign or to engage our military in foreign war. This is our position, and we are urging our colleagues and Nigerians to see reason on using democratic, political, and diplomatic way in reaching out to the military junta of Niger to resolve the issue. Let me re-emphasize that for almost 2 decades, Nigeria is battling insurgency, more especially in Borno, Yobe, and some northern states. And also concerned about the situation of Mali, Burkina Faso, and Libya, where I can say virtually there was no government or recognized government in Libya. If the situation allowed, or if the position of ECOWAS to use military force to force the military to surrender power to the democratic elected president in Niger, it may lead us to another crisis which Nigeria will be at the receiving end. That is the reason why we are pleading with our colleague, pleading with our Nigeria, with the remaining leaders of ECOWAS to see reason in insisting that diplomatic and political approach is the best solution to resolve this quagmire. I do submit our position.
Thank you so much.
I am talking as my capacity or at my capacity as spokesman of the Northern Senators Forum of the 10th National Assembly, inshallah.
His name?
I am Suleiman, Senator Suleiman Abdurrahman Kaw.
Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything and all things politics, especially about the 2023 presidential election held in Nigeria on February 25. And the outcome of the election is still being challenged in the court, and Nigerians are waiting for the Supreme Court to tell them who actually won the election. But before the Supreme Court will do that, Bola Tinubu, who the Independent National Electoral Commission of Nigeria declared the winner of the election, is the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And as a result of that, he has emerged as the chairman of ECOWAS, the Economic Community of West African States. And right now, he is leading the charge to invade Niger Republic to restore democracy. If at the expiration of the ultimatum, 1 week ultimatum they gave to the military junta in Niger, if they fail to restore democracy, and which seems now very unlikely, as the military junta in Niger Republic are not ready to shift ground. They are not ready to listen to either Nigeria or the ECOWAS. In fact, they have even gone further to severe relationship with Nigeria and France and the United States and what have you, to show you that they are determined in their endeavor. It is in the process of this that President Tinubu has sought the permission of the Senate as required by the Constitution to invade Niger Republic, if he gets to that. And knowing the Senate that we have, which is a rubber stamp, like the previous Senate that was led by Ahmed Lawal, there is little doubt that they may have their way. Tinubu may have his way, and they will give him the green light to unleash Nigerian military on Niger Republic. Although there is growing dissenting voices, like the Northern Senate Caucus, which has reminded their police that there are about 7 states that are sharing boundary with Niger Republic, and that it will be catastrophic for those states if Nigeria is to declare war against Niger Republic under the instrumentality of ECOWAS. So that is where we are right now. But the issue we are going to look at is how will ECOWAS be able to fulfill this threat to use force to restore democracy? How is ECOWAS going to do it? Is it just like a tea party? Is it going to be like a walkover? They just go there, restore democracy, kumbaya, after 24 hours, democracy is restored in the Niger Republic? Or are we going to witness a new dimension in international conflagration that might even consume Nigeria itself if care is not taken, or will make Nigeria a playground for the world superpowers to test their weapons of mass destruction? So that is what we're going to look at right now. because ECOWAS, speaking through Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president of Nigeria, and the chairman of ECOWAS, has served notice. In fact, the way Tinubu put it, he said, we will stand with our people in our commitment to the rule of law. That's what he said at the initial stage when this coup took place. The 15-nation ECOWAS members have also summoned their defense chiefs to discuss on how to be able to take military measures against the junta if they fail to give up power, which appears very unlikely because it is obvious from the way they are talking. The military junta leaders, they are not ready to listen to anyone. They think that Niger should allow to take care of itself and not being dictated from outside. Now, the use of military option is not that it is cast in stone, but it is if the junta refuse to give way. Already in the letter that was written by Tinubu to the Senate, he told them the economic sanctions they have imposed. Okay, they have imposed economic sanction against Niger. You know, Niger is getting electricity from Nigeria. Niger is getting its goods imported mainly from Benin Republic. So they have blocked all those places. Right now, Nigeria is no longer giving electricity to Niger Republic, and they have blocked importation of anything through the Benin Republic. So these are the two major sanctions that are really hurting ordinary people in Niger Republic. But whether that will be enough to make the military to succumb in Niger and hand over power to the state government remains to be seen. Now, people are asking, how will the ECOWAS carry out its threat against the Niger Republic military junta? Because right now it remains unclear how they are going to do it, because there is a lack of coordination in providing security in ECOWAS regionally and formally, with the United States Department in Niger saying that one of the challenges that is facing ECOWAS is lack of coordination. According to agency reports, they say there is not enough actual trust among ECOWAS members, and that lack of trust is what will break any type of coordinated response. So a United States agent who works in Niger is saying that there is no trust among ECOWAS members. Because of this lack of trust, it remains to be seen how they can be able to have a coordinated response. But this is what, in my own understanding, is going to play out. Now, this is the first time in recent years that ECOWAS has ever considered the use of force to restore democracy in member nations countries where military took place, military government took place. But the issue is that there have been a resurgence of coup in West Africa in recent time, because about 4 nations are now being run by military government in the region. But the ECOWAS has been unsuccessful to restore democracy in these places. So the ECOWAS have failed to restore democracies where military had taken over in recent times. So why is it that what makes ECOWAS think that it will be successful this time in imposing military using military intervention to restore democracy? That's a big question that many people are watching to see. Because following the coup in Burkina Faso, Guinea, and Mali, what the ECOWAS had done was economic sanction, which had often affected the ordinary people, squeezing the citizens already facing a high rate of poverty and hunger. So the people that suffer when they impose this economic sanction are the ordinary people and not the military junta. Now, another question that needs to be asked, can military intervention work? Can it work? Can ECOWAS be able to successfully use military to restore democracy in Niger? Now, the reason why some people think they can do it is because Niger depends on Nigeria for electricity and on Benin Republic for port operations. So they are assuming that Niger may not be able to hold out for long if ECOWAS is to use force against it. However, those who have studied the geography of that area say that the success will also depend on coordination among members and the African Union. However, there is already a sign of lack of synergy between ECOWAS and the African Union. And if you could remember, there was a video I shared with you people where the former Minister of Foreign Affairs of Nigeria, Professor Bolaji Akinyemi, was talking about there is a division right now between ECOWAS and the African Union, allegedly instigated by South Africa. Because if you look at the responses of AU and ECOWAS to the coup in Niger, the African ECOWAS gave 7 days ultimatum for the military to restore democracy. African Union gave 15 days. So this shows lack of coordination. But Professor Akinyemi interpreted this to mean that it is a slap on the face of Tinubu because South Africa is questioning the integrity of his own election to have moral authority to talk about restoration of democracy in the Niger Republic. So that is another issue that will hinder any success, military success. The division between AU and ECOWAS rising mainly from South Africa questioning the integrity of Tinubu's election in Nigeria, which produced him as the winner and now made him the chairman of ECOWAS. Okay, so that's another problem that will create a hindrance in the war against Niger if it is to take place. It is going to be uncoordinated with African Union and ECOWAS not having synergy on how to approach the matter. Then there is also the problem of economic limitations. Already Nigeria is economically in dire straits. Nigeria economy is almost in tatters. Nigeria is having one of the worst economic indices right now in the world. Unemployment is at over 33%, inflation at over 23%. Nigeria is the poverty capital of the world. A whole lot of things are not working for Nigeria. Nigeria does not have the economic muscle that it used to have to be able to push for war in the Niger Republic. Now, what would that lead to? The result will be that Nigeria and the West Africa may have to depend on the West to intervene. They may have to seek help from United States and United Kingdom and other Western powers. And that could add a different dimension to the war if declared, that only God knows where it will eventually end. That is another issue to consider. Already there is opposition by other military regimes in West African sub-region. Mali and Burkina Faso, they have both ruled out any participation in military intervention in Niger Republic. In fact, they say that they will consider any intervention in Niger a declaration of war against them, while Guinea, which is also under military regime, has said that it has also condemned what ECOWAS is trying to do and vowed not to participate in any sanctions against Niger Republic. Now the four countries, Guinea, Mali, Burkina Faso, they share common boundary with Niger Republic, which makes it easier for them to team up across the Sahel region in the vast arid expanse south of Sahara Desert, starting from Guinea on one end to Niger at the other. So these are the hindrances, things that are going to make it difficult, because these four countries combining to face ECOWAS and their military forces, ECOWAS will not find it easy. Already there are strong indications that the Russians are in Niger already. There are reports which indicates that the white men, the only white people remaining in Niger right now, are Russians of the Wagner mercenary that have been doing operations in Central African Republic and have a stronghold within the sub-region. And they are ready to confront whatever ECOWAS will bring on board. So we should take note of that. From all indication, invading Niger is not going to be a tea party. It's not something you're going to fly in and fly out. Kumbaya. Democracy has been returned in Niger Republic. It's going to cost Nigeria lives, both the military and those 7 states in the north that are bordering Niger Republic. So it's something that had to be thought out clearly before the National Assembly, that we know is a rubber stamp, go and give his go ahead. But I know with the position of the northern senators and with the reactions coming from the northern governors, it is obvious that the north of Nigeria does not want military confrontation with the Niger Republic. So that should be topmost in the minds of our lawmakers as they go ahead to give Tinubu the green light to invade the Niger Republic. Now remember that in December, ECOWAS said that he was going to set up a regional force to intervene in occasions like coup, but there have been no words since then on establishing such a force and how it will work out. That's another indication of how things are with ECOWAS. Anything that Nigeria did not push is not going to work. And the way that Nigeria is going to be disadvantaged if we participate in this program of invasion of Niger Republic, if Nigerian leaders think it through, it will be better for them to leave Niger to sort out their problem democratically or otherwise. And another thing that we should note is that an ECOWAS-led military intervention in Niger and the resulting resistance, because you had it earlier on, I told you that Mali, Burkina Faso, Guinea, they are going to fight on the side of Niger, and with the military, the Russians fighting through the Wagner mercenaries, they are going to be a formidable force. So there's a fear that if this is to happen, it could result to the West, meaning Europe, Britain, United States, the West, and other parts of Africa will be sandwiched in the middle of a geopolitical battle between the West and Russia. And we know what it means when your territory becomes a battleground for the West and Russia. You can go and ask Afghanistan what is happening to them. They are yet to recover from the war that the West and Russia fought in their country. Anywhere that West and Russia makes a playground for military battle, before they will recover, it takes decades. And you can see Niger and Nigeria are just like twin brothers, going by the relationship, historical relationship between Northern Nigeria and Niger Republic. There is no way you make Niger a battleground for the West and Russia, and Nigeria will escape without being irreparably damaged in ways that only God knows the end. So that is why in Tinubu's rush to show power by seeking a declaration of war against Niger, that people should advise him and the Senate to allow the Nigerians to sort out their own problem, to sort out their own democracy the way they thought fit. Nigeria had been under a military dictatorship. We fought it by ourselves. ECOWAS did not help us. Africa did not help us. The West self did not help us. We fought against military dictatorship within. Let the Nigerians solve their problem within. When they are tired of the military juntas, they will get rid of them the way we get rid of our own. That is the truth. Unless we don't accept these facts, anything else we do is to risk the life of our men and women in uniform and our people sharing boundary with the Niger Republic, risking their lives for nothing under the guise that we want to protect democracy in Niger, when even our own democracy here is in danger by the way INEC conducted the last election, which has been adjudged the worst election ever in Nigeria's history. Thank you for watching this video, and if you are new to my channel and you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, God will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.